to Trading with Jen. On this week's weekly video, it's not going to be anything technical where we're going to be on charts or anything like that. I wanted to speak on something that's a little bit more towards the reality of things, right? Obviously, still going to be educational, but more on what we should be expecting. So that way, we don't get our hopes up or whatnot, and we're actually, getting into this industry strategically. Now, as bad as I want to say there's only a few things that we should be aware of, there's actually several things. And as new traders, aspiring traders, well-seasoned traders, this is something that we always have to keep in mind so we don't fall in these little fall pits. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys, so the first one I want to speak on is probably the most common one. Coming into this market, you're going to lose money, right? Not because you want to, not because of anything, right? But some people actually never stop losing money. Why? Because the market is built to reward discipline and having an edge. Okay? It doesn't reward hope. It doesn't reward your prayers, unfortunately. But if you don't have a proven, structured system, unfortunately, the outcome is going to be losses at all times. Moving forward, number two, you don't get paid for being right. Okay? You get paid by having a good risk to reward ratio. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're always right, because at the end of the day, sometimes having a train of thought could just literally go sideways. For instance, a trader with a 40% win rate could have a better probability of being profitable, right? Even though they're only 40% uh, winning at that moment. As long as they have a good risk to reward, they can keep compounding that account versus, I don't know, for instance, a 70% winning trader, right? Somebody that's winning at least 70% of the time, um, could actually be overcome by the other trader that's only winning 40% of the time. How? Because maybe the person that has a 70% win rate at this moment, just they could be over leveraging every now and then, right? They could be down averaging. What I mean by that, basically blowing accounts, right? You can have an immaculate win rate, but if you over leverage and you're just downing your average at this moment, you're bound to blow an account versus somebody that has a 40% win rate and controls the risk management. Okay. Now, number three, guys. Maybe should have been number one. But number three, I want to say the biggest enemy that you have in this industry is not everybody else out here that's doing whatever it is, right? The biggest enemy would have to be you. It's literally your mindset. You know, when I say mindset, I mean when you're on those charts and, it kind of tickles you in profits, you've been doing a lot of demoing or whatnot, it kind of gets you like on a different type of high at this moment. And coming onto the live account is not going to be the same emotion that you want to drag with you. Again, this all falls under discipline. But I say that you are the biggest enemy to yourself when it comes to trading. Why? Because over leveraging happens, right? Over leveraging because you want to make a little bit more profit. You are chasing at this moment, perhaps, in other words, what we call in here FOMO, fear of missing out. There's tendency where traders tend to move their stop losses. Apparently, we all definitely go through it. We all learn a lesson from it. But at the end of the day, these losses come from not being disciplined. Okay? It doesn't come from a structured trading plan. Because if you had structured trading plan and you had those rules implemented and you follow those rules to the T, you wouldn't have this whole thing, having this whole ordeal of having to battle yourself at this moment. Number four, okay, consistency, guys. Consistency legitimately comes from boring repetition. Okay, literally boring. Like you literally have to sit there and backtest and reassure that, what you are practicing is what we call backtesting, okay, is valid. Okay, if you're backtesting something for a week and not giving it enough time to to put an edge on it, you're just hopping from one thing over another. Okay, if your consistency relies on one good big trade, then you're in it. You're literally in it, and I pray for you because having consistency literally comes from doing a repetition of having little small edges, literally on repeat, guys. That's how you gain consistency and just kind of implementing that proper risk management, that risk to reward ratio, whatever that looks like. If you take a loss, that's fine because you have it down packed to, being able to risk this much, aiming for that much. Excuse me. So, guys, do not just rely on your big trades. Consistency literally comes from repetition being built on small little trades where you're able to compound eventually into bigger trades in the future. Number five, guys, a strategy is not an edge if you can't execute it under stress. What do I mean? At the end of the day, it literally all comes down to your trading plan. It doesn't matter how stressed you are, right? If it doesn't fall within your trading plan, you don't take it. Okay? That's what's going to segregate from you properly executing and trading with a strategy versus completely gambling. Number six, guys, I want to say that there's never really the perfect trade. There's not, well, okay, let me reword that. There's not always a perfect setup. And the reason why I say that is because there's going to be times where you're going to miss a few trades, and that's okay, right? Because the market's gonna just keep repeating itself and just different price points. So for me to say that there's not a perfect setup, okay, it's more so of being able to wait, okay? Waiting is actually part of a trading job, guys. You have to protect your capital. You're not just going to place a trade just to see if it's going to come into profits or just to kind of get that itch off your system. Okay, that's not how it works. And if that's what you're going to do, again, you're not disciplined. You need to discipline that because psychology is the ultimate execution at this moment, and waiting is definitely part of the job. And lastly, guys, I want to say that the market just, it doesn't care. Okay. It's that's the ultimate harsh truth. It doesn't care what bills are due. It doesn't care if you have a kid and haven't bought any food. It just it's just everything is irrelevant, right? At this moment, the only relevancy that you can have as a trader is being disciplined, execute with, a solidified psychology. And in order to have that is you have to have a structured, a structured trading plan, guys. If you can't follow it, again, if you can't follow it under stress, it's just not, it doesn't have an edge, guys. So those are the things that I want to say that nobody really talks about, right? Again, everybody comes into this industry thinking that they're gonna learn this cheat code, and there definitely are. But the ultimate question is, can you follow through once a particular setup, a strategy, a trading plan speaks to you Can you follow through it? That is the ultimatum, guys. So yeah, that is my pep talk for today, guys. So if you guys like this video, found this a little bit informational, again, it wasn't nothing technical. It was more of a little pep talk, but still obviously educational, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week on my